Okay, I passed around, I don't know if you've got it, but I passed around the pictures there of family. Going back, this picture was taken in 1888. It was a picture of my grandmother's family. Picture of Squire Leander Barker, which is her father, and daughters stumbled onto the internet. They found this picture. And I've never seen it before, but my mother, Grace Gertrude Barker Wilson, this is my cousin saying this, was his daughter. So she's not my cousin, she'd be my second cousin or something. But she's passed on, but her daughter, Elizabeth Wilson Baham, is the one that sent this thing to me. Now, I'd seen the picture before years ago, and by her mother, Grace Barker, Gertrude Barker Wilson, and I met her. She was my great aunt or something like that, and she died shortly after I met her. But she used to live up in Raton, and had a big house, and she wasn't born when this picture was taken. She was born just a little later. But the two youngest brothers were Marion and Omar. Omar was a tremendous Western writer. He wrote Home on the Range.
He wrote it?
Yeah. And he wrote and entertained Teddy Roosevelt, all those people at the ranch up above Las Vegas there in Sandia Lite. And the youngest brothers were Marion and Omar, like I said, but they're not in the picture. I thought that you, she's telling me, as a Barker descendant, might like to see the picture. So I really loved it, but it brought back memories. Because my grandmother was born in Moran, Texas, in 1889. When she was 6 weeks old, the family made the 6-week trip in covered wagons from Texas to Sapio Canyon above Las Vegas, New Mexico. There, my great-grandfather, Squire Leander Barker, bought 160 acres of meadows and timberland from the homesteaders who couldn't run it. And my great-grandmother never really knew the two oldest children, Ben and Alice. She said that her sister, Ida, helped raise her. And her mother, Priscilla, died in 1909, so she was left without a mother. Her father, Squire Leander, married, which married my grandmother, and she became a Barker by marriage. And there were more Barker children. Here in South Carolina, where she lives right now, spring's arrived, it's a beautiful time, but she can't forget what it was like going up to the mountains and seeing the blossoms and stuff like that this time of year. And the azalea bushes budding and all this. You can sample the beauty of any area from the golf areas and courses during master golf tournaments, but it's not the same thing as being in your homestead where the 100-year-old trees, like right now, we're still there. 100-year-old apple trees are putting out the best apples you've ever eaten. And they brought all that stuff with them from the left Moran. They brought them up. Anyway, it's been a great heritage. They're wonderful people, and their history is just amazing. Because Elliot Barker was the first state game warden in the state of New Mexico. He took Bandelier and Leopold around through all the area here in the Southwest, Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, and Utah, and they wrote The Willen Effect. Teddy Roosevelt passed it, because Teddy Roosevelt knew about it because he met him at the barbecues that they used to have at Papa's Ranch. And so that was really nice. And Ida was a teacher. All of them were teachers and ministers. And all the kids, there's a lot of kids there, but they all became teachers and ministers. And they did very, very well. And So the first taking one was a relative of mine, the first woman superintendent of schools for the Indian Reservation, was my great aunt. And I had a lot to try to keep up with. But part of the family were artists, and not just doing art physically, but they made furniture. They had their own lumber mill right there in the orchard, and they cut their own lumber. And my grandmother used to push the lumber through the saw, and the other guys would have to sort it, and then she'd go make the sort. While they were doing the other work, she'd make their food and feed them, and then go start pushing the logs again. And they would take logs on a covered wagon into Las Vegas and sell them. So that's how they traded a lot of stuff. And they also had a cellar where they had the fruits, another cellar with milk and stuff to do. They made their own fiber, their own cottage cheese, and their own sour cream. So that was our amazing family.